Hello everyone, this is Harper from Twoplantitas. This is going to be the first of two videos of the yearly pack and swap. This year, Karina and I have much bigger collections and much bigger plants on my part, and we're going to have to do a second one at the end of the summer because one of the plants didn't really make it this year just because it was really too hot. No, it sat in the sun for too long, but that's okay. That totally happens. It'll just be a wet stick propagation. And if you don't know what that means, it just means you put it in your prop box or put it in some sphagnum moss with usually 100% humidity, and it has no leaves on it, and so it just gives you leaves off of the stem. That's how that works. If you need any videos about that, just go ahead and search for wet stick propagation and you should be able to find something. Eventually we'll obviously do a video on it. Another thing that happened during the pack and swap is Karina's box was smashed by the time it got to me. It was very bad. It will be shown in the second video. And as you can see from Karina's video, it wasn't that smashed to begin with because it was a brand new box. So I'm going to go ahead and film how to submit a claim to USPS, and hopefully that can help other people that have had the same situation happen to them. It's just kind of horrible when you spent so much time packing something so carefully and it just gets smashed by the post office. Next time we'll probably put like too fragile or something, or not too fragile but fragile. This time we just didn't do that, and next time hopefully we'll do that. Who knows if the USPS will, who knows if that even will matter. But as you can see, I just packed away the Florida Beauty Green. This is definitely one of my top favorite plants. I love that plant so much that I even have the parents of that plant. That's how much I like that plant. And the one that I'm handling right now is called the Philodendron Juggle Boogie. I actually don't know the scientific name of this. I will have to look it up. It's also called the Ring of Fire when it's variegated, and I actually got the golden Ring of Fire. I have a very plant, like a baby plant of it. It will probably be on the Instagram if you want to go take a look at it. That's 2_plantitas on Instagram if you want to look that up. And during this packing session, as you can see, I'm trying as hard as I can not to damage the plants, trying to be as gentle as possible, but the paper was just not a good idea. I eventually ended up using polyfill, and that was so much better of an idea because everything fit just perfectly. And I even got to stick some extra plants in there for Karina because I missed a couple still because I was just a little bit overwhelmed with the whole process. Another thing in this video is that I filmed a little bit too early. It was 4th of July. I think this was on Sunday, and 4th of July was going to be on Tuesday, and so I was going to mail this off on Monday, and unfortunately I didn't want the plants to be sitting even a day longer than they needed to be, so I waited until the weekend to ship it off. And so this is kind of like the first packing process, and there was a second one that I didn't film because I just didn't want to film it again. I mean, I pretty much just do the same thing that I'm doing now, but I had to re-wet all of the sphagnum moss and make sure everything was still doing well. I took them all out of the boxes, put them under my grow lights just to make sure everybody's okay. And as far as I'm aware, everybody's doing okay besides the Palmanii, which we'll see later in the video. The Palmanii, it went from hydro into water, so it was just getting kind of overwhelmed with too much water and too much fluid. So it did kill off some of the leaf, but it was mostly just for hopefully Karina can get that rooted up in some perlite and it should take off with the next leaf. It also kind of rotted the bud that was starting, but I took off the bud or the sheath on top of it, and it was fine underneath. So hopefully it makes it. I bet it will. It's a pretty strong plant. It deals with my neglect better than most, that's for sure. Right now I am wrapping the white wizard. This is, I think, I really like this plant. I just wish this had more variegation in it, but I think at the time I bought it as a low variegation plant, which is totally fine. I thought if I gave it more light, it might give me more variegation, but it did not. It's very, very pretty. I do definitely like the plant. It still sparks joy, as they say. So hopefully it will give Karina a little bit better variegation than it could give me. The stem is like very variegated, so I'm always surprised that it just gives me what it does. The other plant I just showed you was a pink splash syngonium, and it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I suggest getting that one if you can find it or pick it up. It is, again, gorgeous. Anyway, next I'm packing the Hoya Ghost. I had an extra clipping for my friend. Neither one of them have produced a secondary leaf, so hopefully Hoyas sometimes are a little bit slower to produce a second leaf after just a one cutting. So hopefully it will grow with Karina's care. Of course it will. What I'm trying to do right now is my friend roots all of her Hoyas in flu ball. It's kind of like little round black balls. It kind of reminds me of just charcoal because it also does stain your hands like charcoal, so it's not my favorite medium to deal with. But I'm trying to stick sphagnum moss on the top of it and then wrap around it just to make sure that nothing falls out, just because I do know that medium is just kind of hard to deal with. This is a Hoya australis. It's also becoming one of my favorites. The reason why I like it so much is because the baby leaves are like this deep burgundy, and they're so tiny and they're so adorable. It's just definitely one of my favorites, even though you would consider it a plain Jane type of Hoya. It also grows very fast. This is a Bilietier. I found it on a local Facebook group. Somebody grew it from a seedling. I was very surprised that they were able to find a Bilietier seedlings on Etsy. The seller no longer exists, which is a little shady, but oh well, because I love to grow things from seeds, as you will probably be able to tell as the channel goes on. Right now I have 72 seedlings right now, and then I have probably about 75 to 100 seeds of air plants that I got from one of my friends. It just gives me so much joy. Also, last year I grew I think 13 philodendron solemns from seed. I thought they were actually a different philodendron, but it seems that I was given the wrong seedlings. The seller did say that the seeds look very similar, but when I got the seeds, hopefully the actual seeds that they're supposed to be, they didn't look too similar. So I was kind of surprised by that whole interaction, but at least they were willing to work with me. And like all the seedlings I've ever gotten from them have been what they were labeled, so I do trust this seller. It was probably just an honest mistake. Next one, I'm going to be giving clippings of the variegated Hoya Bella, the Polynera Hoya, the variegated, and the non-variegated. As you can tell, I use dog nail clippers, and for some reason I just really like using them. I feel like they cut the plant really well. Of course, 100% wash them, of course, but I feel like they do just a lot better job in cutting the plant, and they can handle quite a thick stem. Next, I'm wrapping the Philodendron palmanii. This is a very, very big specimen. The leaf was very difficult to get in the box, but once I used the polyfill, it was just so much easier to get inside the box. The leaf, as you can tell, it's damaged on the ends, but the point is just having it make it there, and hopefully the next leaves that it will produce will be just as beautiful. And of course, once you cut something, it takes at least sometimes 1 to 2 to 4 leaves before it gets back up to the size that it is currently at that leaf size. So sometimes you have to wait a little bit longer, but this one does produce leaves quite quickly. I'd say about like one every 3 weeks during the growing season. I keep my environment in my house pretty stable. Doesn't matter what season it is. So I usually have year-round growth with all of my plants. Wait for you to see next week's film. It's going to be so exciting. Rena and I actually filmed together for the first time, so hopefully you enjoy it and you have a wonderful day. Bye!
Hi guys, so I'm going to be packing my plants that I sent to, or Harper's plants that I sent to them. And a funny story, their box, was actually horribly mistreated and squished and stuff. So most of these plants were very damaged when they got to them. And also I did have to remove the humidity domes from some of them in order to fit the majority of the plants into a larger box, or like the largest box that was available to me anyways. Side note, if you can hear my toddler in the background, he lives here. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I usually do voiceovers or anything that I need to do when he's asleep, but as of recently I've been trying to fix my sleeping schedule, which is another story for another day. But yeah, long story short, he's up, and so if you hear him, I apologize, but not really, because you know, kids will be kids. But like I was saying, the box that I sent to Harper was actually horribly mistreated. I did have to keep behind 2 of the baby alocasias and also 2 of the mature plants, one of them being the Ivory Coast pink alocasia and the Monstera Peru, which will hopefully be sent to her, or to them, I'm sorry. I'm working on being respectful and using appropriate pronouns, and I do slip every now and then, but I need people to know that I don't mean anything by it. I'm like working on it, so I apologize if I keep referring to Harper as her and not them. They know that I don't mean any harm, so hopefully this doesn't like bug anyone else. But anyways, I am hopefully going to be sending Harper another box towards the end of the summer with the plants that were left behind, and also a couple others that I have recently acquired. And we are just going to continue doing these swaps because it's a really cool way to get all of the plants without having to spend all of the money, if you know what I mean. and we just thoroughly enjoy it. So yeah, I'm not going to be talking your ear off here today, especially with my toddler running around. I hope you enjoy the rest of this video, and I do talk a little bit here towards the end. Also, the mic on my phone is a little messed up, so the audio is a little shoddy, so I apologize for that. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoy the rest of this video, and I'm gonna let you listen to some music now. Okay, bye. So hopefully you can hear me. I'm still packing. I am almost done, but this is kind of like very repetitive and I'm not feeling too well right now. So I'm gonna do the rest off camera. I am gonna show you the stuff that I still need to pack though, just so that you know. Here I have a few cactuses. This is the minus labor, but the Euphorbia zigzag. That's what this is. Probably gonna put this one in a smaller container just so it's not as heavy. Then I also have the Euphorbia Trigona. That's what this one is called, the one that's variegated in the middle. I have this one, which is a Euphorbia corn, variegated corn on a cob, or a cob corn or something. This one's also very heavy, so I'm probably gonna repot it into something smaller and like regular soil because this is mostly rocks. And then I have another cactus. This is a, what did we say, Opuntia, hold on. This is an Opuntia variegated, Maverick variegated. So that's that. And then for regular like plants, I have this pink syngonium, which is gonna stay in here. I'm just going to like pat it so the you can't see. I'm telling you I'm not feeling good. This pink syngonium, which will stay in here, I'm just gonna pat it and like pack it down. And then I'm going to split up this Ethereum, Gracil. There's 2 plants in here, so I'm going to be sending Harper one of them, and then I'm going to be keeping the other one. And then for this one, I think I'm going to like cut it up because they want to put it in pond anyways. So I'm going to, hi baby, I'm going to cut it up and put this in like a humidity dome type of situation for them, as well as this one, because this is our most recent purchase. This is a Silver Street Photos. Same thing with this one. Gonna chop it up and put it in a humidity dome for them, and then put it in some water for me. Like whichever one I'm gonna keep, I'm gonna put into some water. So that is, I think that's all of the things that I have to pack for them. But I already have like a pretty, I think I'm gonna need a way bigger box. So I'm gonna try not to drop this, but the box is pretty packed. This is a small box. I'm probably gonna do, I was going to do 2 small boxes, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do 1 large box because yeah, I think it'll be easier. Also, I need to like the ones that have like a lot of foliage, like this one and this one, and probably the cacti. I don't think I'm gonna cover the cacti. I think these I'm gonna fit into a medium box. I don't know, I'll see. I thought that I had bigger boxes, but I guess I don't. And I kind of just want to show up to the post office like ready to just drop things off. So I don't know, I'll figure it out. Whenever I'm done, I'll show you guys. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna finish the rest of this off camera, and then I will show you guys like the end product. I also have to pack another swap for my friend Ove, which, hi Ove, shout out. They sent me also a bunch of Hoya cuttings and like strings of cuttings, which I have already potted up into perlite because that's my preferred method of propagation. I like to do water prop too, but I hate changing out the water and washing out vessels every week. So I much rather propagate and like root in either sphagnum or, sphagnum or perlite, preferably perlite. So I'm also going to pack them, probably some of my baby alocasias, because I have a ton of those. Those are what I can swap right now. And then I'm also going to take some cuttings of other plants that I think they might like. So yeah, I'll show you guys the finished product. Okay, bye. Here's an overview of everything that I'm going to be sending out to Harper. I have post office boxes, but I don't have anything big enough, so I'm just going to take everything in my one of my laundry hampers and then try to fit as much as I possibly can in either one large box or 2 medium boxes. We'll see, and if not, we'll just do another like shipment in a couple months. I also have like all my packing stuff. I have this other package from my friend O, and then I have tissue paper for the packing. So I'm gonna head out to the post office here in a little bit, and yeah, I just want to show you what this all looks like. It's a lot.